are here for you and me to read. A favorite destination in your community. The reading bug, it's my favorite place to be.
Hi everyone, this is Diane and we're here for craft time today. Our next podcast is the last podcast of the season, and it's the story of Atlantis. The Reading Bug and Lauren are going on an adventure to find the lost city of Atlantis. Well, for those of you who know anything about the lost city of Atlantis, it is under the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean. And in order to find it, they had to find a way to travel down underneath the water. And what they found was, they found a captain of a ship who had an HOV, and that's a human operated vehicle. And the HOV is what took them down to the bottom of the ocean. So I thought today it would be fun to make an HOV. So that's what we're going to be making today. And this is the HOV that I made. I posted the materials that you would need for it. You'll see that stuck to it is this creature, this unusual creature, and that is an octopus that's called a Dumbo octopus. And Dumbo octopuses live very, very far under the sea. They live deeper than any other octopus. They tend to be solitary creatures, but they have these beautiful, I don't even know what you'd call them, but the beautiful part of them that looks like Dumbo's ears. So I thought one thing that we would make today is also the Dumbo octopus that you'll be seeing on the Reading Bug podcast adventure. So the first thing that my grandsons and I did is we painted lots of paper bowls. You need just two, but you never know when you might need another submersible, or you can also use the same thing for making super fun outer space rocket ships or flying saucers. So there are lots of ways that you can use these. But we're going to use two today. And the first thing that we do is we take the two painted the two painted bowls, we put them together, and then we're going to take a stapler and staple the bowls together to make our vehicle, our HOV. So you just staple the corners, the edges. You may need a little help with this from your mom or dad or big brother or big sister, but 3 or 4 staples should be enough. I'm going to do 4. Okay, so now I've got my submersible. It's ready. And then I take the aluminum foil that I suggested that you have with you today, and I've cut some pieces of the aluminum foil. What I did was I cut 3 circles. I'm going to do the final circle right now for the portals that the people that are sitting in the HOV can look out. But they also have a big observation window, kind of like the observation window on our train adventure, if you've remember that, where they went to the observation car. So I cut a kind of a long rectangle for that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to glue the back of it, and I'm going to paste it on, because that's right behind this long window is where the 3 seats are, and this is a submersible that will fit 3 people. Okay, so I'm going to use the back side, the non-shiny side. I'm going to put a lot of glue on it so I can glue it to my HOV. Here we go. So I've got it ready, and now I'm going to glue it on. Now what I found is that with the aluminum foil, you have to be gentle because it takes a while for it to stick. So it may not stick at first, but if you leave it on long enough, maybe put a little bit more glue around the edges. It will stick. It just takes a while for it to stick. For some reason, the aluminum foil is not as sticky as a piece of paper might be. But here I am, just gluing this piece a little bit better. And now I've got the observation window on my submersible. Now I'm going to take the 3 circles, and again I'm going to glue the non-shiny side, and I'm going to stick them around the HOV in the back. Now the other thing that you're going to want to do, and you're going to need your mom or dad or a big sister or big brother to help you with this, is you need to make kind of a tiny hole in the top, because that's where you're going to put your periscope, right? So I'm going to use some sharp scissors, but you should not use them. You should get an adult to use them to put the hole in the top. I just made my hole. And then I'm going to squiggle it around a little bit to make it just a little bit bigger. And I thought that the very best periscope that I could figure out for this would be, what do you think? A straw. So I have the kind of straw that goes like this, that you can flex, right? And I'm just going to stick that straw right in this hole. Looks like I need to make it just a tiny bit bigger. Okay, so there I've got my periscope, so that the people that are in the boat, in the submersible, as it gets closer to the surface, they can look from inside to see what's above the water as well. So I've got all that going. And now the only thing that I have left that I need to do is to make my Dumbo octopus. And for the Dumbo octopus, if you have some pipe cleaners, that's probably the best thing that you can use. You could also probably use Q-tips if you needed to. You'd have to think about how to do that. But I'm going to cut 2 white pipe cleaners in half. So I'll just measure it like this. I'm going to cut them in half, which I need to get these scissors together again in order to be able to do. You have another pair? Great, thank you. I'm going to cut them in half. And then after I cut them in half, I'm going to bend them like this, right? So for each one, I'm going to bend it, and then I'm going to put another one. I'm going to put it around the first one. So now I've got how many legs? I've got 4 legs, but how many legs does an octopus have? It has 8, so I need to take another one of these and bend it around again. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 1 more, and that's the reason why I have 1 more left. And I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so there I've got my octopus right here. Now, the legs are a little different in length, and so you might want to trim them and make them the same. I'm going to keep a couple of them a little bit longer, and I'll explain to you why. But you've got a pretty good octopus going here. Now, what we're going to want to do is, of course, the top part can be the head of the octopus, right? So we can kind of squeeze it together like that. And then what I've done is I've taken a Kleenex, just an ordinary Kleenex, and I've cut out some, well, 1 wing, and I'm going to do the second wing, and they look a little bit like Dumbo ears. That's what I wanted them to look like, right? Because this is a Dumbo octopus, so it looks like that. And let me cut 1 more. I'm going to wrap these around the top of the octopus, kind of the head part of the octopus, like that. And another one right here. Right? So I've got one on each side. They look like wings, like Dumbo's ears. And then I'm going to take one more pipe cleaner, and I'm going to wrap it around here so that I can keep the legs together and also make sure that the wings stay on, right? So I probably don't need the entire length of the pipe cleaner, so I can cut it off. And then I've got a pretty reasonable Dumbo octopus. And the easiest way to put the octopus on is actually, remember, you can stick some of the legs right here, and you'll find out in our podcast that the octopus actually attach themselves to the observation window. So you might want to take a couple of the longer octopus tentacles and slip them in the in between the two bowls, maybe two of them, right? Slip them in between. And then when you've done that, maybe take another couple of them and think about how you would attach them to the window. And I think the easiest way to attach them to the window after you've done this is to kind of take one or two, put them up here, and then you can tape them so that it's attached to the window of the submersible, which you'll hear about in the story when you listen to it on the podcast. So here we are. We've got our submersible that we created, and we have this wonderful Dumbo octopus that's attached to the window of the observation window of the submersible. Hope you enjoyed this, and remember to join me again next Sunday. Thanks. Bye.
If I had one wish that would make me carefree, I'd spread kindness across the land and over the sea. It makes people feel good to see a smile, not a frown. Simple acts of kindness feel good when you're down, so be kind. Rewind. You'll find it's easy to be a friend who cares. Cherish one another and always be kind. Lead with your heart and think with your mind. Find some solutions where you can agree. Make room in the world where we can all be. So be nice. Think twice. There's no price for kindness. Just spread some love around. Whenever you're in doubt, recall the golden rule and do unto others as they do unto you. Don't speak out in anger, take a breath and start again. To love and understand is what it takes to be a friend, so be kind. Rewind.